Hey y'all, it's your girl Nadia.
And it's me, Coach T.
And we are two average people.
Yes, we are.
So, if you missed our last episode, we talked about intention. Being intentional about yourself, about your relationships, about your goals, about your dreams, whatever it is, just being intentional about it. But we wanted to start off by talking about being intentional about yourself.
Yeah. Because it's important to make sure that if you're going to be intentional with all these other things in your life, especially now that we're at the top of 2023 and things are starting to move, you want to first be intentional with yourself so that you can follow yourself through a program and get to the other side of something. Those small wins count.
Yeah. And how are you going to take care of all the other things in your life? How are you going to take care of your relationships and your job and your career and your lifestyle if you don't take care of you first, right?
First and foremost, though, make sure you look in the description. We have a little gift for you, something that'll just help your marriages out. We feel like we want to add value everywhere we can. And be on the lookout for our new book coming out, The 10 Communication Commandments. That'll also be in the link in our link tree in the description down below. We'll let you know when that drops, but feel free to go ahead now, get your free gift. Let's call it a day from there.
Yes. I'm excited.
Yes.
All right, y'all. So, some of these I got to write down because it's a lot. So we write it down so we refer to our notes. But like we were saying earlier, self-care. We want to talk about self-care, right? We want to break it down. We broke it down to 7 areas. And so we're going to talk about your mental self-care, your physical self-care, your emotional self-care, your spiritual self-care, recreational self-care, environmental self-care, and your social self-care. Ooh.
Wow. I didn't realize there were so many self-care options to have to consider. But I guess it does make sense.
I think
it does make sense.
Yeah, I think they overlap too.
Okay.
When you're thinking about it, they can overlap with each other. But let's break it down and kind of see how we can.
Okay.
Look at self-care. So, first and foremost, mental self-care, right? This is something that is so important, but I feel like society kind of overlooks the importance of it.
Well, I think society now is starting to kind of get the hint and go, oh, we need to take care of our mental like we take care of some other things. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
so
let's see what it says.
This involves creating a healthy mindset through mindfulness and curiosity. Remember, the mind is so complex. So take time to do things that help your mind, like relax, journaling, reading, thinking outside the box. It also involves engaging in activities that can help you feel connected to yourself, like positive self-talk and taking intentional breaks from screen time. Except when you're looking at us.
I mean, you can't.
You got to look at us.
You can't not look at us. I mean, that's kind of the point, right? That's why you're here.
I know. This is really, really big for me, for us, especially lately, because I don't feel like anyone has ever taught me or even told me until I became an adult how to take care of my mind. Growing up, your parents say, oh, you got to eat your vegetables so you can be nice and strong and healthy, and you got to drink water and you got to get sleep. And, but what about our mind?
Yeah.
So I think this is super, super important.
Yeah.
Right?
I gotta say, my parents never really taught me much about that either. But my parents did do some of the things that one could consider mental health. Although, it wasn't perfect. There's some things that I look back on and I can go, oh, well, I'm already used to doing this thing.
Yeah.
I just never thought of it as far as mental health is concerned. So, okay.
Yeah.
Let's just apply it because you're used to it already now. So let's go.
Yeah. All right. So we're just going to touch on these guys, but we're going to go deeper.
Yeah.
A little. We're going to touch on these right now and talk about the 7. So number 2 is physical self-care.
Yeah.
Very, very important. Of course, this involves taking care of your body, making healthy choices. This is where the getting enough sleep comes in, the exercise, the drinking plenty of water, taking multivitamins, going for your checkups, y'all. I know there's many thoughts about the healthcare system in America, right? But we got to do the basic, just checking and making sure that we are healthy.
Especially for us fellas, man. I got to tell you, we're scared of the doctor. Like, there's not too many things that most male boys, most men aren't scared of much, but the doctor's office makes us nervous.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's if the doctor tells you some bad news, that means you could be, shutting down, and you might have to sit down for a while just to get healthy. And that break for men is very nerve-wracking. It's like, okay, so what happens in the break now? If I can't do what I'm doing, what is everybody else going to do? So, but it's important to catch stuff early. If you see a lot of the folks in hip-hop who are 50 and above, man, they falling off. And 50 is young to fall off, bro. It's the truth. So go get the checkups, do your thing. I know, I feel it too, but let's go. Let's get this right.
Yes. Yeah. So important, baby. Yeah. It's also important to focus on the positive aspects of physical health. Take time to appreciate how you look. We don't love everything about ourselves. None of us do, right? There's one thing, maybe 10 things you would change about yourself if you could. But there's something, hopefully, that you love about yourself, and you can say, you know what? I love my eyes, or I have a beautiful smile, or whatever it is. Take time to, even if it's just to yourself, take time to find that thing that you love about yourself and acknowledge that, because we all have something beautiful.
Yeah, really.
Making physical self-care a priority can prevent illness, affect your mood, or improve your mood and energy, and promote overall well-being.
Yeah.
As you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
We kind of know that, right? Yeah. You go to the gym, you get healthy, you get a little stronger, you get a little more stamina.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. But to do it on the levels that are not just for like a fitness goal, but to just keep things going and healthy, and yeah.
Yeah. Very important. All right, y'all. Number 3, emotional. Oh, boy. This one right here,
it starts.
Y'all, being a woman, being an emotional being, this one is so, so important for my psyche. So, I think to practice emotional self-care, you want to create healthy coping strategies. For me, it starts with acknowledging where you are and how you feel. Those emotions don't always have to be positive, right? So let's say you're frustrated with your job. First, you need to recognize and acknowledge that you're frustrated. Right? And then give yourself some space to be frustrated. Okay? So that's the first step. After you've identified your frustration, what your frustration is about, I always say have some self-compassion.
That's
you have to think, okay, this thing is frustrating me. This is too much. It's been super busy at work. I haven't had time to do the things that I want to do, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I like to say create a list, or what I do. I don't have a list per se of positive affirmations, but I have an app. And every day that app gives me a positive affirmation about myself that I can read. And excuse me, I can read and say, yes.
Okay.
And it could be something as simple as, I'm doing my best today. You could create that own list and refer back to it as well. Mm-hmm. But something that would help you when you're in that emotional state, all emotional self-care is very, very important.
Mm.
Learn how to create boundaries to protect yourself and your heart.
Boundaries to protect yourself and your heart. Woo!
Very, very, very important. Tobari will always say, people will treat you, what do you say? People will treat you the way that you allow them to treat you, right?
Absolutely.
But even when we're not talking about people, you have to create those boundaries within yourself so that you can handle all that's going to be coming at you, whether it's your job or your relationship or your children or your friends or your parents
or relatives,
whatever it is, you have to create those boundaries.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I have is I love to watch movies that I've seen 100 times. When I'm in an emotional state, I'll put on Miss Doubtfire. Y'all know, quick, because it makes me laugh. Or listen to some calming music. These are all things that help your emotional state. And you could say that these can help your mental state too. But again, really finding those coping strategies when you are in a place after you've acknowledged your emotion.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm in that state, what I do is I create. It's best for me like to go in the studio and to make some music or do something creative, because it can just transfer me from one state of mind to another.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, next one. And these aren't in any particular order, y'all. These are all important. Spiritual self-care is the practice of taking time to connect and nurture your spiritual side. Okay, so there's people some people like to split it up. They like to say there's the spiritual side and then there's the religious side. Okay? So however you choose to approach this is up to you. But it's important that you connect to that spiritual side. So if prayer is something that you do and find important, we do, that's something you definitely want to make sure that you're taking time to do. It could be things like yoga, meditation. It can also be as simple as reflecting on your life, your values, and your purpose. Right? Taking time for spiritual self can help you refocus your energy and cultivate inner peace, balance, and harmony.
Wow.
It allows you to practice self-love and to be in tune with your spiritual needs. When you nurture your spirituality, it can be a great source of comfort and guidance during difficult times.
That's real. That's real. I have a story.
Yes.
So
I love stories.
So I was in college, and I wasn't even quite in college yet. I was in a summer program before my first year at college, at the college that I wanted to go to at Berkeley. So I was like, okay, I'm in the dorm room, and I filed my scholarship paperwork like 3 different occasions at this point, and 3 different occasions something went wrong, and they don't have my application. They just don't have it. And one of those times, I dropped it off to the person in their hand, and then I called back the next day, and they're like, "Yep, you're not in the system. We don't have it here at all." It's like, are you serious? So I was like the 4th or 5th time at this point, and I'm sitting in the dorm room the day before the final date that you can turn things in, right? And I just had to have a moment with God. So my prayer didn't look like, "Oh Lord in heaven, I just want to say thank you, Lord, for all this." Nah, my prayer was like this. Hey, bro. So I already know what's going on around here.
Yep.
I don't know what to do. I did everything I was supposed to do, and I don't know what else to do, Lord. So you got it, right? I'm gonna just have to put it in your hands. And he said, in that moment, he said, "One more time," and I went, "Okay." One more time. And I got my scholarship,
Yeah.
I did. I got my scholarship. I'm one of the few who got the scholarship.
Yes.
So it was one of those moments in my life that I was like, okay, I got to nurture this thing called my spirit.
Yes.
I got to nurture it, because how God spoke to me, I wouldn't have heard him before taking that moment of reflection. Even though it didn't look traditional, it was real. And I think that's why I got a real response. Yeah. So that's it.
I love that, baby. That's awesome. Yeah. There you go. Spiritual self-care.
Hey, it's real.
It's important.
It's real.
It's important, y'all. All right. The next one, recreational self-care, is about taking time for activities that make you feel energized or relaxed. So hobbies, going on a new adventure, taking time to relax and do nothing. That's my favorite, y'all. Seriously. Just you might have some games you like to play, just switching up the routine. Any of that can be recreational, just things that you like to do. Don't lose that. Make time for those things still. Going for a walk or, I don't know, bike ride or whatever it may be. Again, can overlap into the physical, but it's all things that you enjoy. Environmental self-care. Taking care of the places around you and the places you love.
Explain, because I think I understand. But
so this includes making sure your living and your workspace is clean and organized. Okay, so I like to be clean and organized, but some people function in chaos, right?
Yes.
Like their workspace being a mess.
Don't point at me. What's wrong with you?
So when I say clean and organized, I don't necessarily mean that all of you guys have to make your space as spotless as you want it to be. But getting it in a place that when you walk in the room, you're like, this feels good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can work here.
Yeah.
And that may be a cup from yesterday. That may be no cups in the room. Whatever it may be, that's the place. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so clean and organized for you. As well as reducing anything that may cause stress, such as noise, clutter, toxins. All very important.
You know what I did yesterday?
Yeah.
In the house here? You guys were gone for something. Was it yesterday? Anyway, you guys were gone, and I was in the house by myself, and I was cleaning up like I normally do, and I just opened up a window. Just opening a window.
I literally have that.
Really?
Yes.
I just and I'm watching all the little particles in the air, just kind of dust and everything. 15 minutes later, it was all clear, and I was like, "Man, this must be really good for our health. We should practice open up these windows a little bit more."
Absolutely, and you don't think about it. You're like, it's either too cold to open up a window or too hot to open up the window. You know, so yeah, but yeah, little things like that. That was on my list.
Wow, I didn't know.
So yeah, baby. Okay. So it also involves taking time to appreciate the beauty of nature and connect with the environment. Like opening the window, taking a walk, cleaning up the air, lighting candles, calming scents.
Okay.
We love to light candles.
I didn't know the power of calming scents until like shortly in college, man, burning that incense. And I was like, oh man, this is dope. Yes. You come in the house, you know, got a nice candle burning.
Yeah.
It's like,
See, I didn't know about candle burning until one day I came home and he was burning candles. And I was like, hey, this is nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
You know, next day I was at the store buying all the candles. Right?
She bought all the candles.
Oh, all right, y'all. So the last one is social self-care.
Now, this one is the one that I didn't even know existed.
Right. So this one talks about building relationships and making connections with healthy boundaries. It's about finding a balance between having fun, reconnecting with your social environment. Social self-care could look like taking a break from a stressful day to connect with family and friends, catching up with an old friend.
Gotcha.
Or attending an event that helps you connect with a larger community.
Okay. All right.
So like a book club or something like that. Or taking a friend out. You know, catching up with a friend.
Yeah. I can see that. I can totally see that.
Yeah.
That's real. That's good.
So this is so important. I'm sorry, I'm catching my notes here.
Look, I know when it comes to self-care from a social perspective, I wonder what you have to say on like social media. Well, when it comes to self-care.
And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of the time we need breaks from social media.
Yeah.
For that social self-care. You know, because I know for me, when I scroll and I see all of these different things that affects my mind, it just throws me off. He'll know. I'll be like, I got to put this phone down. Especially if I'm already in a state. So naturally, if I'm already in a anxiety state or a feeling down state, the first thing I do is pick up my phone and scroll just because I can zone out of what's happening around me, right? Even though it's all happening here. And then I pick up my phone, I'll scroll, see something, and I'm like, okay, this is not helping. And I know it's not helping,
Yeah.
but I'm still doing the thing that's not, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Look, Pastor Tori and Elena over at Empowerment, and if you aren't familiar with Empowerment, NOLA, please find the link in the description as well. And they're having a fast, a 7-day fast.
yes.
Starting today through the next 7 days. And one of the things that we talked about perhaps giving up was social media for that short time frame. Because we're like, ooh, it is important to kind of detox and detach from that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Connect back to reality and kind of get a hold of it. Especially we're in January, it's a brand new year. Let's grab a hold of it nice and early so that we can kind of continue the rest of the year nice and strong.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so feel free to join us on that 7-day fast.
Yeah.
You don't have to register or anything, but show Empowerment NOLA some love and hit a subscribe button and tune in to church on Sundays.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. So we're going to wrap it up here with our self-care. Again, we just touched on these. We're going to go a little deeper.
A lot
deeper with these. But we just wanted to mention them, get you thinking about them. Start thinking about how you can give yourself some care first. Right? So we can show up in our relationships.
Put the mask on yourself first.
You gotta put the mask on yourself first before you can put the mask on anybody else. So it's very, very important if you're struggling in your relationships or if you're struggling in your career that you first look at yourself and say, what can I do? How can I be better?
What can I do for me?
For me. So that I can be my best self first.
Yeah.
So that everything that I show up to, everything that I show up for
is made better.
Is better. And it just makes my experience better too. It starts with me and it ends with me. Okay?
Hey, I like that.
Hey?
I like that. I like
Sounds
that.
selfish, right? But that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Don't worry about the way things sound.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about the way things sound.
Yeah.
Sound is not good enough to make things real. Sound has everything to do with what you're feeling on the inside. That's okay though. But sound doesn't make it right.
Right.
Let's get right.
You gotta get right. It's okay to be a little selfish.
It's okay.
You give yourself to everything and everybody so much all the time. It's okay to give to yourself too. Be intentional about it, y'all. All right? And remember, we are better together. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.
I never include these parts. I should include
them. You should.
I should include them.
That's how I do it.
Booyah.